Alright guys, so today we're going to talk about 5 observations from yesterday's training camp, day 17. Shout out to Dan Hode for posting this on Twitter. As always, shout out to every single person who posts their stuff on Twitter from highlights from training camp. It's always awesome to see, from a fan point of view, like, oh, this is what's happening. Because again, we don't get indoor, footage of any of this stuff as fans. So starting off right away, the team spent the first half of the process in an indoor facility. It was a dry run for regular season trips there with the added benefit of getting out of the extreme heat. The heat index was 102 degrees when the team went outside. And I've said this many times before, but yeah, I wish we would have trained a lot more in this facility. I don't think Joe would have gotten his calf strain if we would have been in the facility the whole training camp. There's really no reason to practice outside other than the fact that, you're like, well, you practice outside because you're going to be playing teams that, the conditions are going to matter. And if you play Miami or you play Tampa Bay or Jacksonville, you're going to have to worry about the conditions. But the thing is, this year, we're not going to be doing that, especially not at the time where there would be, any crazy bad conditions over 100 degrees. So I understand the point of view, but whenever you add extreme heat to working out, all you're doing is increasing heat strokes, overheating, and again, cramping of the muscles, which is what led to the calf strain of Joe Burrow. So I just really wish we would have spent more time in this indoor facility. It would have saved us so many problems this offseason, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, some of the players also might want to be outside in the that not the cool air, the hot air, but at least it is air, circulating around you. While in this facility, it's still air circulating, but it's not like as, fresh air as it is outside. So I guess that is really the takeaway here. And then right here on the screen, I believe this is Andre. So Yoshi out here making the catch. Let's go, Yoshi! Freaking love Yoshi. Alright, number 2. Cheeto not only had an interception in this drill. Let me do that. In this drill, on the first 11-11 snaps, after the team went outdoors, he picked off Jake Browning's intended for Jamar Chase. Cheeto is back. Listen, he is. He's back in full, team drills. This is not, he's not hurt anymore, which is absolutely amazing. Because if you remember earlier in the offseason, we talked about this a lot, how Cheeto might not be ready for training camp. We said he might come back at the end of July. It's possible he comes back at the end of July. It's possible he could not be ready for week 1. Maybe week 2 he'll be ready by then. No. He's ready now. He could go out there and play right now at a high level. Now, he'll probably not play the last preseason game because there's really no reason for him to go out there and play the last preseason game. But with another couple weeks of training, keep in mind, we are still a solid 18 days from football. He's going to continue to get better and better and better, healthier and healthier and healthier. And with this training now that he can do full drills against the receivers, he's going to be so good week 1. So I just want to put that out there. And keep in mind that the Browns might not actually have their starter week 1 in their corner, or second string corner, Greg Newsome. He apparently is hurt, and I don't know if he'll be ready for week 1. Cheeto will be. Number 3. Tanner Hudson had fun after eluding a diving cornerback. He'll play on Saturday after having 4 catches in the first half of Game 1. I was pretty upset that I didn't get to finish it with a concussion, but I'm really looking forward to this game and showing what I can do. First off, this guy hurdled a defender on a 10-15 yard catch and got a concussion. That is ballsy. That is MVP levels. And I freaking love it. Okay, first off, that just shows you got that, dog in you. If you're going to hurdle a defender when in preseason, okay, you're trying to make the roster, right? That's obvious, right? But still, to make that type of play, A+ work. But again, I'll be interested to see how he ends up, how good he does this upcoming game. Because, again, yeah, he missed week 2 with a concussion. And that's going to be a huge problem, right? At the end of the day, Irv Smith is the starting tight end, right? After Irv Smith, everyone else's job is up for grab. Mitchell Wilcox, Drew Sample, Devin, Channer, etc. Everyone's job is up for grabs at that number 2 and that number 3 tight end. We probably keep 3 tight ends, period. So Tanner is definitely up there with an opportunity. I mean, let's be honest. He's a very good, He's a very decent vertical threat option. And that's exactly what we need in this offense to, continue to progress with that. Is he's kind of like a Hayden Hurst type of guy, which is exactly what we need. So I would not be surprised, especially with, Wilcox's injury history. We had Drew Sample with his injury history. It's very possible that we see Tanner make the roster, and one of those guys I just listed does not make the roster. Or maybe Devin doesn't make the roster, and it could possibly be, Drew Sample. And it ends up just being, what's his name? Ends up just being Irv Smith, Mitchell Wilcox, and then Tanner Hudson. And that's going to be all vertical threats. So it's very possible that ends up happening. I will say him having concussion is actually probably the best bet for himself here. Because he got a concussion because he was trying to go extra on a play to help out the team. And it wasn't a long-term injury or an injury that's going to cause problems in the future. Concussions do cause problems in the future, don't get me wrong. But it's not like it's an injury that's going to, be like an arm injury or like a sprained ankle or like a calf injury where okay, this could possibly come up in the future. This is an injury that, hopefully everything works out and it shouldn't come up in the future at all. Next one we have here is after missing much of camp following an off-season knee surgery, Mitchell Wilcox was cleared on Monday and appears fully healthy and fit. I've had a great support system with the training staff, and they've helped me get back to where I am, and I feel like I'm 100%. And again, like I just said, another guy who's competing for this starting job. Well, starting job as in the second string tight end. So they're all competing for this job. We're going to see, this final game of preseason, how everything shakes out. Because on the 28th, which is 5 days away, just keep that in mind. 28th is 5 days away, guys. In 5 days, people are going to be cut off this team. We're going down to 53-man roster in 5 days. So this is going to be really interesting. Next one is, of course, about my man Reed Sinnett. So yes, we talked about this in the press conference. If you did not see it on the channel, Coach Taylor talked about how he wanted to get Reed Sinnett more snaps in this preseason. And he will get more snaps this upcoming preseason, the last game of the season. And the reason why he hasn't had any snaps is because these defensive drives the last 2 weeks have been like 10-minute drives. And when you have when you have the opening drive last 10 minutes, you can't go out there and put in another quarterback because you only have so much play time with the quarterbacks you have. So he was trying to give even play time to Trevor Siemian and Jake Browning, and the problem is when those long 10-minute drives consistently throughout the game, you have less offensive play time. So that's why Reed Sinnett has not gotten in any games. But this game against Commanders this upcoming weekend, he's going to be playing. And most likely what we're going to see is he'll probably play the fourth quarter. So it's probably going to be first quarter, my guess would be Trevor Siemian. First half, Trevor Siemian. Third quarter, I would say. Third quarter is going to be Jake Browning. And then fourth quarter is going to be my man, Reed Sinnett. Now, we know that Coach said that he doesn't like the idea of alternating quarterbacks. So what that means is one series it's Trevor, one series it's Jake Browning. He doesn't like that concept. So it's probably going to be first half, bam, second half, bam. Now, it's very possible that what they do actually do is first quarter is Trevor Siemian, second quarter Jake Browning, and then the whole second half is Reed Sinnett. Just to see what they have in the guy. Maybe they like him. Maybe he plays really good in the, second half. But as I said many times on the channel, just because you play good in one preseason game does not mean you make the roster or you get that spot. Just keep that in mind. One preseason game doesn't dictate anything. Coach said this best when he said, it's all about consistency. It's all about making plays in every single game and, showing back on tape that you're being consistent. because everyone can have one splash game. That's just life, right? A one-trip pony, as they would call them, right? So just keep that in mind. With that being said, guys, tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. I'll see you guys next one. Peace out.